Hello, grade 10 students. Namaste. How are you? Hope you are well and doing great. Let's try to remember, where were we? Yes, we were in Unit 16 under the theme Success and Celebration. And what is our today's plan? Today's plan is reading second. What is there in reading second? Turn pages, reach to the page number and try to find. Yes, there is one poem named If, I-F, If, by Rudyard Kipling. Had you heard the name Rudyard Kipling? Okay, don't worry, about him too we will talk. Before that, let's talk about this word if itself. Is this word that new to you? I don't think so. If, this word is used while talking about any conditions. Whenever you talk about conditional sentences in English grammar, while talking about conditional sentences, we talked about zero conditional, conditional 1, 2, 3, yeah? While talking about them, you had used the term if. And how might have Rudyard Kipling used the term if, the word if, throughout the poem? We need to wait for a while to know all of those things. Before that, if this word if talks about conditions, think about some of the conditions. What are some conditions that make you happy? For example, in case of mine, if I get leisure time and if I get one musical instrument to think about, to listen any classical songs, if I get my leisure time with classical songs, I think I'm happy. I remain happy at that moment. What about you? What makes you, or what conditions make you happy? Okay, let's talk about some of the conditions related to our life. In pre-reading task, we have two questions. These questions also talk about conditions. For example, look at A. What conditions do you think one has to fulfill to be a successful person in life? We talk about different successful persons. What conditions they might have gone through? Or, in case of yours, in case of people around us, what conditions should they go through or should they fulfill to be a successful person? Obviously, these conditions may be different from person to person. One person might have some conditions, other person might have other conditions, but commonly we can reply like this. I think the common conditions one has to fulfill to be a successful person in life are hard work, perseverance, continuous learning, self-confidence, passion and determination. Not only that, in addition, some other conditions like financial condition, health condition, and motivational supports to them may play equally important role. We talked here in A, we talked here conditions commonly applicable to any of the people, any of the person. What about B? Which of them, whichever conditions we talked here in A, among them, which of them have you been following? In case of your life, What can be the conditions? What are you following? I guess you understood the question. Try to think on that. And don't forget to write down important points which you think. This B number remain as one task to you. Okay? Now, in the next we have short video. It is one animated video of the poem If by Rudyard Kipling. Let's go with the video.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truths you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
Okay, how did you feel while going through the video? The animation is quite meaningful. Moreover, the weighty words of Rudyard Kipling, they make the poem quite interesting. Before we go, let's talk something about the poet Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling is an English writer. Though he belonged to England, he was born in Bombay, or present-day Mumbai. By his time, it used to be called Bombay. It lies in India, and he was born in the year 1865. Though he wrote quite many good creations, his famous works are The Jungle Book. You might have heard, read, watched. And next to well-read or quite popular creation is Kim by the same writer. If you get time, don't miss to read or don't miss to go through those texts, those books. Next, let's talk about the structure of the poem. Poem is not that long. Can you count how many stanzas are there? See on the page of the book. Okay, there are altogether 4 stanzas. 4 stanzas. Now, can you count the number of lines per stanza? Number of lines per stanza. Count them. There are 8 lines. And in English, we call the poems or the stanzas of 8 lines to be octave. Octave. 8-line stanza are called octave. 4-line stanza, quatrain. 2-line stanzas, couplet. Okay, here we have 4 octaves. 4 octaves means total number of lines 8 multiplied by 4. That comes to be 24. There are altogether 24 lines. Now we need to talk something about rhyming pattern. Whether the poem has rhyme or not, see that at first. If there is any connection, any cohesion or any proper development of rhyming pattern, let's try to find. Okay, it is A, B, C, D, C, D. Let me clarify it a bit. Let's go to this stanza. In this stanza, see, the last word of the first line rhymes with last word of the third line. They are called A. Look at here. We have written A, B. First A, third A. Master rhymes with disaster. Second line, last word, aim rhymes with same. Therefore, we wrote B. A, B. Similarly, fifth line rhymes with seventh line. Spoken, broken. Therefore, we said C. Okay. Spoken, broken. Similarly, fools, tools. They are called D. Therefore, for one stanza, our rhyming pattern is A, B, C, D. This almost matches for every stanza there. Next, let's go to the main idea of the poem. The poem basically talks about importance of character development or development of virtues in any individual, which would lead them to success, or which every individual should possess to carry their life to success or achievement. Too many words are repeated, uniquely repeated in the poem. Can you pay attention to them? Can you count how many ifs are there, how many ands are there, how many ors are there? Yes, there are 13 ifs excluding the title. With title there are 14 ifs. There are 7 ands. There are 4 ors. This repetition also adds different quality in the overall part of the overall meaning of the poem. About that we will talk later on too. Let's go to some of the main ideas of the poem. Before that, let me ask you some questions. Are you calm and patient enough? How calm are you? How patient are you? Can you adapt yourself in different difficult situations? Or you lose your temper during such situations? Or you become nervous, hopeless? Think about that. Or do you have self-trust? Do you have your own dreams for your life? Do you have your own thoughts of your own? If so, the writer has taken you almost in the way to success. Let's see here. If you can stay calm, if you have self-trust, if you have sufficient patience, if you can dream or think and do not get affected by huge achievement or loss in your life, if you can adapt to various tough situations, if you can utilize each moment fully and purposefully, yours is the earth. That means you can win the earth. And you will be a man, my son. Though the poet writes or has written, my son, he has, or my son symbolically addresses to daughters as well. Daughters, don't worry. Sons will be man, daughters will be women, or all of them will be successful persons in their life if they maintain their life through all the situations, all the conditions the poet talks about. Now, let's go to first stanza. In the first stanza, as the poem is if, the name of the poem is if, first line begins with if. I have already said there are 13 ifs throughout the poem. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. Remember, keep your head. Keep your head. Keep your head means have patience, stay calm, don't get aggressive. Because all other people around you, they are losing their temper, they are not calm, and they are blaming it on you. Yes, it talks about stay calm. Stay calm, don't get aggressive. Keep your head. Next, in next two lines, if you can trust yourself, yes, the poet talks about self-trust. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, all people are doubting you, they have doubts about you, but you have trust. You can trust that I'm right. But not only that, but make allowance for the doubting too. Don't be boastful that you don't doubt, you have self-trust. No, but if someone is doubting you, is there any reasonable ground behind their doubts? Think about that too. That means give space to their doubting too. Sometimes, whenever people doubt about you, there can be some reasonable ground. But in the third and fourth line, the poet talks about trust on yourself, self-trust. We need to have self-trust to achieve success. In the next two lines, if you can wait, but not be tired by waiting. Do you get tired when you have to wait for some times? Don't be so. You need to have patience. The poet says, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, if some people lies on you, how do you think? Being lied about, don't deal in lies. Even if other people lied on you, don't try to lie others. Don't try to speak lie. Try to have patience and try to speak truth. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. If someone hates you, don't start hating others as revenge or instead. Don't go tit for tat. Don't go, whatever others do, don't try to do the same from your side too. Have patience, be gentle, be calm, and use your reasoning. And 8, Don't look too good, nor talk too wise. Some people have habit of talking too much, talking too wise, thinking themselves to be, I know everything. We say, Mr. Know-all. Yeah, I know everything. Therefore, the poet suggests, don't look too good. Don't think yourself to be too good. And don't think yourself to be too wise. Do not pretend over smart. Do not think yourself to be over smart in comparison to others. Others are nothing, I'm great. Don't think that way. Stay calm. In all, stay calm, stay gentle. Okay, in the first stanza, we talked that the poet tells his son about his son to whom the poet is talking. We will talk that at the end of the poem. You should keep calm, patient when others blame to you. Others may blame you. Stay calm. That is what the poet says. You should trust yourself. About self-trust we talked when others doubt you. However, give space, give room for their doubts too. And try understanding what made them doubt you. Do not think yourself to be too good or too wise. Now, let's go to second stanza. If you can dream, but not make dreams your master. If you made someone your master, what you became? You became slave. Therefore, the poet says, you can dream, that's good, but don't let your dreams make you slave. That is what he means. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. Okay, think. You can think, you need to think, but don't make thinking your aim, or don't make thinking is everything. Be reasonable. Think and dream meaningful. If you can meet with triumph and disaster, triumph means great victory, great achievement, great success, that is triumph. Disaster means any horrible situation, any damage, any loss. Sometimes you may succeed, sometimes you may fail, but take these two, treat those two imposters just the same. These are imposters. Imposters means dishonest. They may make your mind, may make you emotional. Whenever you get victory, you may think, yes, I'm the great. If you get any loss, any disaster, you may think, I'm gone, I'm lost, I'm finished. No, don't think that. Take your great victory or any loss normally, like just the same. Don't get much affected by any of the harsh situation, any of the different situations. Next two lines. If you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by nabs to make a trap for fools. Sometimes what happens, you say something, you said any truth, but other nabs means some cheaters, some dishonest persons, they twist your truth and they make up any other fact and they use that for making others fool. Sometimes they create misunderstanding by creating any fake story, by twisting your original story. But yet, bear them. Don't react them. Don't get overexcited with them. And finally, or was the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. Sometimes what may happen in your life may be broken, your life may get crooked, may get bent down or may get spoiled, but any of the situation of life may go away from your control. However, you need to try to build them up, repair them with your worn-out tools, with your badly damaged. Worn-out means damaged tools. Worn-out means anything too old also. Here you can say you have tools of your experience. With your whole experience, you can repair the things whichever are broken in your life, but stay calm and don't get horrified or overexcited with any of the changes in your life. In all, in the second stanza, the poet says, you should dream big, but never make the dreams your master. Mere dreaming or thinking will never lead you to the path of success. He talked about triumph and disasters as two impostors, that you need to behave both of them in the same way. The letters triumph and disaster, they are capitalized to show the personification there. In the fifth and sixth line, the poet says, you should only speak the truth and should also have courage to face it when it is twisted by others to mislead others. About these two we talked, and finally, things and achievement in life may get ruined, and you need to remain ready to repair them with your knowledge, experience in life. Up to second stanza clear? Okay, now let's go to third stanza. In the third stanza, you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss. Pitch and toss is actually a game of skill and chance. Pitch and toss. You can make heap of all your winnings. You might have many winnings, many achievements in your life, but you can take risk of that. And loss and start again at your beginning. And never breathe a word about your loss. Even if you got lost in your life, don't speak about it with others. Breathe a word means don't speak about it. Don't talk about it with others. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew means all the fibrous tissues uniting muscles to bone. These fibrous tissues are sinews. If you can force your heart, nerve, sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, your mind, your heart, all the effort has already gone quite ahead, but you have to take turn. Even if you need to do that, be ready for that. And so hold on. When there is nothing in you except will, you have some willpower which says to you, hold on, don't worry. Time may come better for you. Okay. In the third stanza, we talked about our achievement. Everything we earned may be lost, but we shouldn't get afraid. We need to keep up working. If you fail after taking risk, you should start again. Don't worry to restart. Don't fear to restart. You should use your heart, nerve, sinew, or your courage when you become tired or when you lose something. And when nothing is left in life, one should have strong willpower which may encourage them to hold on to continue their journey. Okay, now let's go to the last stanza. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtues, even if you are in the crowd, you do not lose your standard, good moral behavior. Or walk with kings, even if you get chance to walk with kings, nor lose the common thoughts. Still stay in touch with common people. If neither foes means enemies. Foes means enemies. Foes synonym is enemies, antonym is friends. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, none of them can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. All the people are equal to you. You do not ignore any of them. If that is so, if you can feel the unforgiving minutes, time is always unforgiving. It doesn't wait for us. It is unforgiving. To me, time never waits. It has 60 seconds and it is worth of distance run. We need to reach quite long distance. We have limited time and we need to run. Go on running. Yours is earth and everything that's in it is yours. That is what the poet says. And finally, the poet says, which is more, you will be a man, my son. Yes. The poet finally gives hint here with whom he is talking. He is addressing my son. Daughters, don't worry. Sons and daughters are equally lovely here. Yes, the poet thinks about or suggests, guides his son here. Similarly, he means same to the daughters too. In the fourth stanza, he talks that become virtuous, value every second, success is yours, the earth is yours, everything there is yours. Okay, in the fourth stanza, among common people, keep your virtues. Among great people too, don't feel much pride or ego. Give equal value to everyone, whether friends or enemies or any person. Time is precious and will never come back. Hence, you should start utilizing each and every second of life. And finally, the speaker tells his son, if you can remain in all the conditions mentioned above, you will be able to achieve whatever you like in this world, and you will be a man, you will be a true human. Okay, the poem has used some literary devices like metaphor. Triumph and disasters have been compared with two impostors. Similarly, personification, heart, nerve, sinews have been given human qualities, that is called personification. Anaphora, the repetition of words like if, or, and is known as anaphora in literature. There are 13 ifs, 7 ends, and 4 ors, we said that. Next, alliteration and assonance. Repetition of consonant sound. If you can feel the unforgiving fa sound repeated, that is called alliteration. With 60 seconds worth of distance, this repetition of sound, that is alliteration. And assonance. If you can dream, see, repetition of O sound, repetition of E sound. That is called assonance. Finally, the poem summary. The poem is a set of moral instructions. It is called didactic. The father is teaching the son. The poet or father tells his son how to cope with the different situations in life and how to live a virtuous life ahead. The poem describes some qualities that an individual should possess, such as calmness, patience, self-control, perseverance, truthfulness, and humility in order to fight against life's challenges and become a successful person. If an individual possesses the virtues described in the poem, he or she will be successful in life and will have the world at their feet, at his or her feet. The speaker gives conditions that may mold up his son into a good human. In the phrase being a man, this phrase suggests that these virtues are particularly important for men, humans. Men don't take it to one gender alone, to both the genders, for men and women. For all the human, we need to possess these qualities. And if we have these qualities mentioned in the poem, earth is ours. Things on earth, they are ours. And we will be successful people. Okay, students, how was today's class? Today we talked about different conditions to be a successful person. Hope you are following such conditions. We had talked about some conditions in pre-reading of today's lesson. And now, for your life, what can be conditions? Think about them. We will meet again in the next class with the discussion of the exercise. Remain studious and follow different conditions or follow your dreams in life. Thank you everyone. Bye-bye.